Hey everybody, this is Sharon, and today we'll be talking to my friend Kayleigh Hofer. My friend Kayleigh and her husband Tyler bought a motel in Wyoming. So they moved their three young kids from sunny San Diego to a small town named Pinedale, just south of Yellowstone National Park. Yes, a real Schitt's Creek scenario, but maybe without the craziness, but definitely filled with adventure. So listen in as I interview Kayleigh and learn more about her adventure in Pinedale, Wyoming, and what it's like to buy a motel. Well, good morning, Kayleigh.
Good
Thank you
morning.
for joining me
Yeah.
today. What world are you calling from?
I am currently located in Pinedale, Wyoming. Recently moved here, and I'm actually sitting in one of our motel rooms. We recently bought a 15-room roadside motel. It's called the Jackalope Motor Lodge, and so we're in the thick of remodel, but I'm in the middle of one of our remodeled rooms right now. So
How did it come about? Why are you out there?
I had lived in San Diego for 10 years. That's how we met you.
Yeah.
um, we loved our life in San Diego, had all three of our kids there, built such great community in so many ways. San Diego will always be home. But within the last 2 to 3 years, actually, I was thinking about this even before the pandemic, both Tyler and I, and especially Tyler, was just asking some vocational questions about what was he wanting to do career-wise, and what kind of life are we wanting to build as a family. And life kind of throws some plot twists at you sometimes. And so in the middle of asking those questions, Tyler was actually let go from his position at the church he worked at. And so, and then within 2 or 3 months, COVID hit. And so our whole world was sort of like upside down unexpectedly, much like the whole world. And so in that season, those questions really came to the surface in ways that pushed us towards action. And we had friends that moved to Pinedale in the summer of 2020. They're pursuing a really cool dream and endeavor out here as well. And so we came out here to support them and get to know them better and see what they were doing. In the middle of that, we just fell in love with Pinedale and became less about why a motel and more about like why Pinedale. It's very remote, but it's super beautiful. It sits at the foothills of the Wind River Range. It's right an hour and a half south of like Grand Teton National Park and Yellowstone. And just this small town is just such a hidden gem. I'm continually blown away by how much this town offers for being so small. But it's the county seat for such a large kind of ranching community. And so we were like, how do we build a life here? How do we have a family of 5 here? And that was when the idea of small business came about. I come from a small business background. Tyler comes from a farming family. And so we kind of knew we had the DNA and the grit for it. And we drove by this property one day and we're like, what if?
Right. Well, tell us a bit more about your motel. Is it a motel or is it a hotel?
Yeah, it's a motel. Really unique about our motel is we like to say, and well, maybe not that we like to say, but we really pride ourselves, especially in the summer, this last summer when we were barely off the ground and we didn't close till June 1st. Summer is like bread and butter. It's when your business is thriving here and for all the motels and hotels in town. And Tyler was really able to get us off the ground with the hiking community, actually. So the Continental Divide Trail goes right by us in the Wind River Range. And we were basically word got out on the trail, and for 2 months solid, we were booked out. Not even booked out. We just sold out on walk-ins in the summer. And so, yeah, all walks of life come and are welcome. I mean, we have a lot of hunters in the fall. With this different seasons, the clientele changes. But I would hope that as we continue to grow, the heart of who we are stays true. It kind of looked like it was frozen in time when Tyler first got here. I never really got to see it before it was gutted. Tyler, you'd walk into the rooms and all the beds were still made with like the property used to be called the Wagon Wheel Motel, and so there's like these Western art prints on the wall, and then like it was built in 1970 something, and it was like all the carp room had like old shag carpet, so like avocado green. We definitely knew it was going to be a fixer-upper, and I'm really proud of Tyler. Last summer, he was able to get, between June 1st and July 9th, he was able to get 8 out of our 15 rooms just operational. So brand new beds, but still everything old, like old vanities, old shag carpet, everything. And that's what we sold last summer. That's what we're still selling now in the rooms that aren't being remodeled yet. And so it has been a lot of work, and will continue to be a lot of work. But I think that's one of the best things about this is the ways in which our lives has brought so many different people in it to prepare us for a season like this. I think the challenges that come to mind, the first one is that I love our season of life, and our season of life is exhausting even if you don't buy a motel, because we have a 6-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 10-month-old. And they don't really care that there's a really long to-do list and all of these things that we're building for the room, like their lives don't slow down for us, and they've been super adaptable and awesome and have totally embraced this life, but we're just tired all the time. I think that's maybe been a fun surprise is if we actually live on the property right now in like the owner's suite, and I'm so glad we do. Like, yeah, it's a smaller space and it's not our forever home, but we're here all the time, like, and if we didn't live here with our boys, then we would never see each other. That we're doing this together, that our boys have a front row view to it is so cool. And then I think another answer to that question is I'm so grateful for, I think kind of what I was talking about in my previous answer, just the various people in our lives, from childhood through adulthood, that God is kind of bringing into our lives again in really unique and fun ways to help us get this thing off the ground. Like, it literally is taking our whole community, including people that we now know here in Pinedale, that we're growing in relationship with. And so that is really, really sweet and fun. Another unique challenge is we're like an hour and a half from everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like Walmart, Home Depot, hour and a half south, airport,
wow.
Jackson, like some more groceries. We have a grocery store here that we love, but like Jackson's like an hour and a half north. So yeah, it's like Rock Springs or Jackson either way. And that's just, I mean, we've adapted to it. Like it's made going anywhere super exciting.
A big trip.
Jackson is getting a Target. That's really exciting. So, but you also, I feel like I've learned that you just don't need a lot, like, you embrace where you are. And there's a lot of things here that we love. The thing that comes to mind is I love the beauty, much like San Diego, honestly, like where you just go out your door and the landscape is stunning here. The wildlife is crazy. Like we've had moose on our property, we've had a porcupine. My friend had a badger outside her store a few weeks ago. The lakes are gorgeous. Like, yeah, we are nature people. We love to be outdoors, and Wyoming is a place for that all seasons of the year. I've actually really everyone said the winters would be awesome. The snow would be great. And I'm like, okay, we'll see. And it really is. Like, actually, I wish it would snow more. It's such a place to recreate and play. Oldest is in hockey, and that's been a really fun community to grow and get to know more. We go ice skating now. Like Leo had ice skating lessons in preschool yesterday. um, Things like that I really, really love. Even like this last month, I got to know a rancher at a farmer's market, and I ended up buying like a lot of beef from her, which is really cool too. It's not just like something I'm buying at the store. It's like I know her.
Why should people come and visit your motel?
Yeah, that's a great question. Our motel and this whole town, in a lot of ways, um, thrives economically off of obviously the summer travel that goes to Teton and Yellowstone national parks. And so if that is on your bucket list, for sure you want to come through. The Tetons are beautiful, one of them like up there in top 5 most beautiful places I've been. Still exploring Yellowstone, I haven't been there much, but if that's on your bucket list, like try to come through Pinedale on your way. But I think if the great thing about the Wind River Range is the mountain range we live by is I just feel like it's this hidden gem. It's this amazing, best kept secret. A lot of the CDT hikers that stay with us would tell us like, this is actually one of the most beautiful parts of the whole trail. Like they're blown away by the Wind River Range. So if you love hiking, like a visit to just Pinedale alone would be worth it. But even beyond that, like I'm learning so much about the recreation here. I don't fish. I have a feeling I'm gonna fish. But there's some of the best fly fishing in the country is here, up on the Green River, and multiple rivers in this region. And so fly fishing is huge, hunting is huge. Yeah, this is just, if you want to get away from it all, as they say, Pinedale is a really beautiful place. So we really pride ourselves, particularly here, on being clean, which I think most places do, but that's really important to us, is that you get here and you're like, wow, this is really clean. They've really prepared this place for us. And then also to be a place that's really fun. So that's still coming to life as to what that will look like, because we're literally building all of it out right now. But yeah, this place would strike you as a place that's really intentional and fun. A place you really want to be, that maybe this would be less a place to stop on your way through and a more of a place to stay and to be for a while. And so we'll see if we get there over the years as we build the business. But yeah, you're welcome to Pinedale, everybody. We'd love to have you. So
great. Well, thank you so much for sharing about your journey and about your motel and your family. And we'll be sharing some photos.
Yeah.
So, thank you so much for your time.